Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another edition of New Music Friday. Just Nick here with WBLS, and I've got a very talented singer-songwriter hanging out, Dixson. What's up? Welcome.
How are you?
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Okay, so let me just tell you off the bat, I'm a huge fan of The Voice. I've watched every single season.
Really?
And so I've seen your episode.
Oh, wow.
You sang Usher, right?
I did
And you killed it.
Thank you.
And you had everybody turn around but Blake.
Yes.
Because he's a hater.
No,
I'm
that's
kidding.
only because Blake's team was full.
It was full. I'm kidding. I love you,
turned,
Blake.
Yeah, he turned around, but he was like, I can't take you, but I got to see what happened.
And then you chose Pharrell.
Yes, my brother.
You really have the tattoo?
Yeah, I do.
Where is it? Let me see. So how was that experience? Like, normally when people sing and then somebody turns around, I hear people say, "Oh, you get nervous because somebody actually turned around." Did that happen for you?
No.
You just because you amped it up.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the energy that you got to come with. Like, if someone turns around, you can't cower in that moment. You got to show them what you can do because you're trying to win. A coach.
I could tell you wanted Pharrell because as soon as Pharrell turned around, then it went up like 2 octaves. I was like, oh, okay, that's what we doing.
I'm a big fan of Pharrell. That's my brother, a mentor of mine. So I'm glad he turned around because I was going to fight to get him anyway.
What's up. That's what's up. So do you feel like the show has helped you in your career now?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I've been on the show, but at the time it was, I mean, first off, you can't beat having that many people watching you.
Yeah.
I got to stay on the show till like top 11, top 12 or something like that. And so I was on TV every week.
Right.
So you can't beat that type of exposure, that type of publicity. So I'm very grateful for the show. I still have friends that work at the show, and like I'm down to come back whenever.
Oh, you know they're gonna be hitting you up for like
I'm ready. I'm ready to perform.
Anniversary and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I read that you are a PK.
I am.
Preacher's kid, for those of you that don't know.
Yes.
So that's really tough. I feel like it's tough because you got a family who's like, you got to sing for the Lord, and they be dead serious looking you in your eye, like, so you're gonna sing that worldly music.
My family wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that.
No.
Okay, so tell me.
So my dad was a pastor. I originally, weirdly enough, started down the path of like becoming a pastor. I'm a very spiritual person just in general.
Yeah.
But I had a conversation with my father, and we talked about the fact that like I just gave him the specifics. I was like, yo, there's like 3 or 4 people in gospel music that's making money. I was like, I don't think I was put on this earth to like be broke and making music. I don't want to be a starving artist. I'm good at what I do. I can write all this type of music, and he was like, go for your dreams. My mom never cared. My mom also was a first lady, but she was not like the typical first lady.
Yeah.
She was like hella cool. I'm sure she won't mind me saying, like, my mom smoked cigarettes and shit. Like, she was, like just a cool ass lady. She had a Camaro. Like, she was cool. She wasn't the typical one. She wore jeans a lot when she wasn't supposed to. Like, she was like not dressing up. She wasn't with it. So my parents just wanted me to be creative and to be happy and to be able to sustain myself with my gifts that God gave me. So yeah.
That's dope to have that support.
Yeah.
And so now you're here. Fast forward. You got a project coming out tomorrow.
Ooh, yeah. 004DAISY.
Okay, so why did you choose that name?
Well, when you have like in technology, like a lot of times you get like a top secret project that you're working on, like the iPhone or some shit.
Yeah.
And they call it something like other than before it like really gets revealed. So like 004DAISY is the prequel to this big body of work that I've been working on for a while. So this is just like the taste. Daisy is a piece of software. She kind of runs the studio. She kind of runs my life. We fall in love, all that good stuff. So Daisy is a real person, but she comes into my life first as a piece of software. She's like something I'm dating,
Wow, as a piece of software, I gotta process that.
Yeah,
analyze.
I'm a nerd. Like
I can tell.
I don't hide that shit because I feel like I'm also really cool.
Yeah.
But I love computers. I love tech. I use tech to make the music that I'm doing. And yeah, I'm kind of into it. I just kind of dug into it. I got really inspired by the movie Her by Spike Jonze. And yeah, I just kind of dove into that concept and trying to build a world about like digital love. And I feel like so many of us are on our phones and like on dating apps. I'm not, but like I have a lot of homies, a lot of friends who met their wives on these things. And like, yeah, I just wanted to tell a story about something that felt so good that it like couldn't be real. So that's the
I love that. I'm looking forward to hearing it. Yeah. Okay, so how much were you involved in this? Because you play 11 instruments, is that right?
A lot of them.
Jesus, that's a lot.
Yeah.
The whole symphony.
Yeah, I'm
the
there.
Orchestra.
It's me.
Wow.
Yeah. I was very involved in this project. It was a labor of love because I made a decision after the first Beyoncé record I worked on, that I want to like take back control of my production narrative.
Can we just stop there? Because you was like, after the first Beyoncé record, like that's not a huge deal.
Well, that is a huge deal, but it just opened up a world for me where I could see myself sitting in the driver's seat. And you know, a lot of times, like, you know, you'll get signed and they'll be like, yo, we want to give you creative autonomy, but then like you'll get a bunch of people hitting you up like, yo, I want to put you in with this producer, that writer. And I'm like, yo, I'm 100%er. Like, and I think getting that first Beyoncé placement showed me more clearly what I could do if given the opportunity to make things from scratch and like just have time with my process. So we made a decision after recording for like 2 weeks with a bunch of amazing producers and writers. It's like, yo, we're going to send D in by himself and see what we come up with. Wow. And I think we came up with something beautiful. And like, I'm on every record. Like, I think I've done like 90% of this album myself on the production side. I think there's like 1 or 2 songs that I didn't do fully, but I'm on every song as a producer. And songwriting, I wrote all the songs. You want all the money, basically. Yeah, you know, not that I want all the money. I just think, you know, if an artist is capable of telling their story without a bunch of hands, I think the story will come across more real and more genuine, rather than having somebody else write from their perspective. I want fans to get to know me, not the minds of a bunch of other people. I want them to be obsessed with what I'm saying. So I took it into my own hands for this one. I love that. I love that. Now we got to go back to Beyonce because you can't just say her name and just skip over it. Now, you know, the Oscars, the open was the song Be Alive, and you co-wrote that. I co-wrote it. Were you with her? And co-produced it, yes. And co-produced. Yeah. So it's just me and her on the record. If you look at the credits, it's just me and B. Were you in the studio with her? I was not, actually. I know at the time she was working on a million other things, so I had my own space to work, and we just sent things back and forth. I'll never forget when I first heard those vocals, and like I lost it. Like I almost cried, but I didn't cry because I was like, "Fuck, we're under a deadline." But yeah, it was a life-changing experience for me. But yeah, that's we got an Oscar nomination. I got to see her. Congratulations! Thank you. I got to see her tape that performance, so that was a beautiful moment for me. I had never seen her live before. Have you met? Yes, of course. Yeah, we also sat at the same table at the Oscars too. So what was the vibe like? It was amazing. I mean, every time I've been in their presence, they're the most. Both of them, Jay and B, are the most accommodating, the nicest people on the planet. I have nothing but great things to say about. Absolutely, and you're protected. Yeah. In ways you don't even know. You don't even need security to get around because you have the Beehive. Oh, my God. You know, her fans are the best, like literally the best. Ride or die. Yeah, and I appreciate that because they really made that moment very special for me. They not only shouted her out, but they shouted me out, and they didn't have to do that. I was just a guy behind the boards, you know. But I'm glad they included me in that moment. Well, they know talent when they see it. So kudos to you, your project. Thank you. You have a song with 7th Streeter. That's my dog. Listen, speaking of great singer-songwriters. She's the best. She's so underrated. Yeah, I mean, I think the world knows about 7. I feel like in so many spaces that I go in, that I mention 7's name and the room lights up because they know what kind of star power she has, but also just her incredible pen is out of control. Good. She's so versatile. She can do whatever she wants to do. So shout out to Sev. That's my homie. Well, tell me about the song. Yeah, so Cherry Sorbet. Actually, 7 is a part of 2 records on the project. So Cherry Sorbet is a single that we put out. I found out yesterday that it's number 16 at radio. Congratulations. Right now, so that's huge. Shout out to Big D. Road to number 1. Let's get it. Yeah, no, we're really going for it. This is the second time I've had a song at radio in my whole career. Like, even with songs that I've written for other people, I never seem to make it to radio. So for the first song, Cream, that went to radio to go number 11, that was a big deal for me. This one being at number 16 with 7 is amazing. My mom finally heard me on the radio for the first time.
Wow.
So there's a lot of firsts happening, and I'm so grateful. And then she also helped me write Heat featuring Tinashe, which is doing really, really well.
Funny.
I love Tinashe. She's another superstar. And we made this song, and I was so nervous because I was like, yo, Tinashe's not going to want to jump into my world. Like, I just be trying shit. Like, I would say I get bored easily. And so I make my music make a lot of twists and turns because it's like the attention span of the listener is so short these days that we got to give them something that's continuously keeping them listening, keeping the momentum high. And I was just so nervous that Tinashe was going to hear this record and be like, for real, bro? Like, this is what you brought in here? And she loved it. She dove in completely. So I'm excited. We're about to do a visual for it, and so I'm very excited about that. But 7 also helped me write that record, too.
That's awesome.
And it was hilarious. 7 was, like, out with her girls, and she called me. She was like, D, I'm coming to the studio. And she was like, I hope you don't mind. We've been out. We a little sauce. I said, I've been inside this room, and I'm a little sauce, too. So, like, we just going to come here and make some good shit. She came in and, like, out the gate, gave me cherry sorbet and, you know, this record, Heat. So I'm very thankful to all the collaborators, but specifically 7 and Tinashe for, like, making those records what they are.
I love your Instagram post and how you show us a little bit of the process of just creating it. So that's super dope. I can tell you're very artistic.
Yeah, you know, my team tries to get me to, like, unveil the curtain a lot. I'm a very private person. I like to speak through the music. You know, I feel like I'm my best when I'm in front of a mic singing. I feel like you get to know me the best when I'm delivering these songs. But my team is like, yo, the way you make things is so special. Like, you have to show people how you're doing it. We don't unveil everything.
Right.
But my team is really good about just catching me in the moment, like making really cool things. And so I'm thankful to them too, because if it was left up to me, nobody would see what was going on. I'm terrible with that shit. I don't like the cap for the internet. It's not my vibe. And I discovered that about myself. Like, as I got older, I was like, yo, there has to be some kind of balance. Like, I need to be able to live my real life and create a world for the listeners and for the fans. And so, you know, these rare opportunities that I get to talk about my process, you know, I take them seriously. But, like, if it weren't for spaces like this, I probably wouldn't be talking, because I just rather do the work. So,
but that's so, you know, and I appreciate that, because the best singers have that same mentality.
Yeah.
So I feel you on that.
It has to be a little mystery, you know, like that's how you create celebrity.
And you don't want anybody in your business either.
Yeah,
you see what happens when you go that route, that part.
It's a lot of shit happening in that world.
I noticed you did the Money Long challenge, right? And so there's a lot of challenges going around. You know, the Usher challenge was pretty dope. You slid that in there. And now there's a Maxwell challenge. What you smiling for? What? Are you going to partake, or, like, you know?
I doubt that I will partake in the Maxwell challenge, simply because, first off, Maxwell did it the best.
He did.
Come on. And also what I recognize too these days, and, you know, if y'all got sound effects, y'all can go ahead and start hitting the fucking gunshots and all that shit. What I realize is that there's a lot of people who, like, practice it and then post it. And then it's like you catch them live in their shows, and they be like, "Ah, man, you don't sound the same as your as that beautiful post you put up doing the challenge." I tend to sound like the record. I like what I record. I sound like, and when you come to my show, you know that brother's mic is on, and there ain't no gimmicks.
I mean, it sounds like a little shade.
There's no shade. I'm just saying, like, there's good and then there's great. You know, like. And that's fine. Like, I think get it how you live. Like I said, I don't really cap for the internet. If I want to do the Maxwell thing, I'll just sing the song in my set, and I'll be able to do the whole song, you know, and and not run out of breath. Anyway, so
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe one day, maybe now I'm gonna get pressured to do it because I talked all this shit on the show.
Maybe so.
But, like, when I do it, I'm gonna do it, like, at the grocery store, like picking up, you know, sugar or some shit.
Because it's nothing. It's nothing for you to do.
I'm not about to sit and practice and get my lighting right for it. Like, I'm not about to do that shit.
Well, listen, Dixson, it's a pleasure to have you here.
So nice to be here.
I'm excited to check out the project.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite on there?
Do I have a favorite? Yes. I realized recently that Only One is my favorite song on the project so far. And it changes, you know, like with a project you love, like even when it's not mine, like my favorites change all the time. Like on Beyonce's project, I worked on Virgo's Groove and Pure Honey. And for a minute, I couldn't get off of Pure Honey. Like I was so in it that I forgot that I worked on it. And then other songs started to hit me. And I was like, damn, am I really about to take my own shit off my favorite list? And I did. I ended up taking it off. Now I'm like in the plastic off the sofa.
Okay.
I'm like, because there's so many layers to that music. So yeah, maybe next week if you see me, I'll have a different one. But right now, Only One is my one.
Okay.
It's my one.
All right. Well, we're going to hit favorite on that.
Yeah,
so
please.
I can check it out.
Yes.
What do you want to say to your fans before I let you go?
Listen, thank you so much for building with me, growing with me. Listen, I'm an artist. I'm a very sensitive person when it comes to it. So the fact that you allow me to like shape, shift, and grow, I just hope we keep growing together. And I hope these songs make you happy, make you feel love, make you fall in love, make you dump whack ass niggas if you need to. And yeah, that's what I want to say to y'all. I love y'all so much.
That part. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. It's New Music Friday.
Yes.